I recently saw a post of someone saying, abandon a line art, it's not good. Do it without it, it's the best choice. And that got me thinking how people take line art as something complicated when it's not. So today, I'm gonna show you how line art is way easier than you think. And just to make it clear, I'm not criticizing this post specifically.
Hi, I'm Lucas, and welcome to Artist Dilemmas. Don't forget liking and subscribing to help the channel. Thank you very much. First, what is a line art? Many think that it's just contouring the sketch, but it's not exactly that. Line art is the final result of a drawing. When you have everything clean and shaped exactly as you imagined, and it has a lot to do with your style. So using the default round brush to make a line art may not work because it may not make sense for a kind of drawing, but it's all about style. So finding a good line art work is similar to finding your art style. And once you get that, you'll start to make your line art looking way better and even having different line art styles, like I do for example. But there actually are some tips that can make your line art look better. Let me show you that. The most common one is line weight. When we define our lighting on our drawing, making this light more prominent can make your drawing look better. And how do we make it? Line weight. Here's an example. We have this arm and our light is coming from above. The lines that are facing the opposite way will be thicker to indicate a shadow and make it more prominent. That'll help you having a better contrast on your drawing too. Next one, thicker and thinner lines. It's really important to have line variation in your drawing too. What most of the artists usually do is having the outline thicker and what's inside thinner, like you can see here. This way, you make the subject of your drawing pop, and you can also use that on purpose to create contrast. Like a scene that has many characters and you want to highlight just the main subject in a scene, so you make the main character outline thicker and the other characters with the same line thickness. This way, you're gonna differentiate the contrast between them. Third tip, occlusion. What is occlusion? When you have two objects really close to each other, they'll have an area that has zero influence of light. Just like the lips when you have your mouth shut. The black line you see is the occlusion. This artifact can help you bring in more depth to your line art. And last one, you don't need to use proper ink and brushes to make your line art. Or when you make it traditionally, you'd have to use inking pens or brushes mainly if you prefer, and if it fits your style better. You can use color pencils or even crayons. The point is, you have to use what works for you and what fits your style. After pinpointing all that, I decided to make some explorations with different line art styles. My idea here was to find something different and also show how you can vary line art styles very simply and also experimenting with some different brushes. Another subject that always comes to discussion when we talk about digital inking is brushes. That's something I struggled with for a long time because I spent a lot of time looking for the right brush, the one that would work for me. And I ended up finding some good brushes, but at the end of the day, I realized that I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and I'm now using basic brushes with simple textures, and that it was more about my skills than the brush itself. This part of the video shows it very clear. I started using a brush pen from Procreate that works just like a real brush pen, and this one is a good option for this ink sketches, for example. So it has a purpose in my opinion. And after that, I started exploring different kinds of line art. And the first one, I started without going crazy, but during the process, I had an idea after finding a different brush and it came out better than I expected actually. Then I tried something more digital, using a brush kind of like a simple round brush, but with a bit of texture on it, but nothing too fancy. Now moving to the Spider-Man one. Not gonna lie, this one was more of a quick sketch because I wasn't being able to come up with something specific for this one. Finally, I made a Hulk, another one. This one was more like something I would normally make, but with some different tweaks here and there. After all these explorations, I try to apply the tips I mentioned, but if you pay attention to it, you don't necessarily have to use all of those tips. You gotta make sense. It's not a law, it's a tip. Like, you can use one of these, or if you want, you can use all of them, but you gotta test it and see what works for you and what doesn't work. As I said, it gotta make sense. Making a good line art is more about your skills than the brush, as I said. You can find the best brush available. If you don't have the proper skills, you're not gonna be able to use it correctly and won't achieve an amazing result, to be honest. So what we can do is keep practicing. Once you have a good drawing level, you'll be able to improve your line art way easier. You can also look for references and observe how your favorite artist makes line art, or search for videos of artists inking. I learned a lot with these methods, especially by watching other artists inking, because I'm good at learning from observation personally. So at the end of the day, it's all about practice. Practicing can make everything easier on art. Keep practicing and go easy on yourself. It takes time to get better results at line art because it's the part of the drawing that requires most precision. But trust me, you can get there. So, if you have any questions about inking or line art, let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to help you with that. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Stay safe. Bye bye.